Dear beloved, the testimony I'm going to be sharing with you today was sent to us by mail days ago by a sister who wanted to share what God did for her and how she was saved from a captivity that the enemy is using against God's people. She specifically told us to help her share this message so that everyone out there will learn and not make same mistakes she made. After going through her testimony, I can tell you that there is a huge warning that everyone must hear, so if you are here, please kindly give me a few minutes of your time. I want to encourage you to watch this video to the very end so that you will not miss any single information that this testimony carries. You might be the one to save your family, children, friends, and other loved ones. Before I share this message with you, please, I would want to know where you are listening from in the comments section so that our prayer team will continue to commit you and your loved ones in prayer. Also, if you have a personal prayer request, you can kindly drop it in the comments section. God bless you. Now relax and listen as I share her testimony with you. Good morning, Daily Renewal. My name is Vex Sterling. I'm 24 years old, and on the night of June 14th, I died in my apartment in Portland, Oregon, with my phone in my hand and a half-eaten bag of edibles on my nightstand. I need to tell you who I was before all this happened. I graduated high school 2 months before I died. I wasn't going to college. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I worked part-time at a coffee shop downtown. My parents got divorced when I was 14. My mom lives in Seattle with her new husband. My dad lives here in Portland with his girlfriend. I have a younger sister, Riley, who's 15. We text sometimes, but we're not close. My whole life was online. I'm serious. From the moment I woke up until the moment I fell asleep, I was on my phone. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, Reddit, YouTube. I had 8,000 followers on Instagram. I posted outfit pictures, coffee art from work, selfies. I checked my likes every 5 minutes. If a post didn't get at least 200 likes in the first hour, I'd delete it. It was pathetic, but I couldn't stop. And the weed. I smoked weed every single day, multiple times a day. I'd wake up and take a hit from my vape pen. I'd smoke before work, on my break, after work, before bed. It was just part of my routine, like brushing my teeth. I told myself it helped with my anxiety, and it did, kind of. My brain was always racing, thoughts spinning and spinning. What do people think of me? Why didn't she like my story? Am I ugly? Am I boring? Why do I feel so empty all the time? When I got high, the thoughts would slow down. Everything would feel softer, easier. I could just scroll and not feel anything. That was the point, to not feel anything. My dad would get mad about it sometimes. He'd say I was wasting my life, that I needed to get it together. But he was always at work or with his girlfriend, so what did he care? My mom would call and ask how I was doing, and I'd lie and say everything was fine. I was good at lying, good at hiding how lost I felt. I had friends, I guess. People I'd hang out with sometimes. But even when I was with them, I felt alone. Like there was a wall between me and everyone else. Like I was watching my life happen instead of actually living it. That night, June 14th, was a Thursday. I got off work at 9 p.m. I stopped and got Thai food on the way home. I got back to my apartment around 10. It was a studio apartment, tiny, just one room with a bathroom. My dad helped me pay rent. I ate my food while watching YouTube on my laptop. Then I got into bed. I grabbed my vape pen and took a long hit. Then another. I'd been using these new cartridges I got from this guy I met through a friend. They were stronger than the ones I usually got. They hit harder. I liked that. I started scrolling through Instagram, just going through my feed. Pictures of people on vacation, people at parties, people with their boyfriends. Everyone looked so happy, so perfect, and I felt nothing, just empty. I kept vaping and scrolling, vaping and scrolling. I don't even know how much time passed. Maybe an hour, maybe 2. Then I started to feel weird. My chest felt tight, like someone was sitting on it. I tried to take a deep breath, but I couldn't. It felt like my lungs were filled with water or something. I coughed. It hurt. I put the vape down and tried to sit up, but my body felt so heavy. My heart was beating really fast. Too fast. I thought maybe I just got too high. I thought maybe I should drink some water. I tried to get up, but my legs wouldn't work. I fell back on my bed. I couldn't breathe. I was gasping, but no air was coming in. I grabbed my phone to call 911, but my hands were shaking so bad. My vision started going blurry. The edges got dark. I was scared. Really scared. I tried to yell for help, but no sound came out. Just this wheezing noise. Then everything stopped. The pain was gone. The panic was gone. I felt light. Like I was floating. I opened my eyes and I was looking down at myself. I was still on my bed. My phone was on my chest. My eyes were open, staring at nothing. My lips were blue. I was dead. But I wasn't scared. That's the weird part. I should have been terrified, but I wasn't. I just felt confused. Like this couldn't be real. I tried to move and I floated up toward the ceiling. I looked down at my body again. It looked small. Empty. Like it was just a thing, not me. I didn't know what to do. I floated there for a while. I don't know how long. Then my apartment started to fade. The walls got blurry like fog. Everything just dissolved into darkness. But it wasn't a scary darkness. It was calm. Quiet. For the first time in years, my brain was quiet. No thoughts spinning. No anxiety. No noise. Just peace. I floated in that darkness for what felt like forever. And then I felt something change. There was warmth. It started all around me like being wrapped in a warm blanket. And with the warmth came light. Not bright like a flashlight. Soft light. Golden light. The light got brighter and brighter, and then I saw something that made me stop breathing. I was standing in a huge room. The walls were made of something that looked like crystal, but they were glowing from the inside. The floor was clear like glass, and below it I could see what looked like stars and galaxies, like I was standing in the middle of space. And there were people there. No, not people. Angels. I knew they were angels even though they didn't look like the pictures I'd seen. They didn't have wings or halos. They just looked like really beautiful people, but they were glowing. They had this light coming from inside them. There were maybe 20 or 30 of them, all gathered around this huge table. On the table was what looked like a giant book. It was open and the pages were glowing with writing that kept changing, like the words were alive. One angel, taller than the others, was standing at the head of the table. He was pointing at the pages and the other angels were leaning in, looking closely. Some of them looked sad. Others looked determined. I heard them talking, but not with voices. It was like I could feel what they were saying in my chest. They were talking about my generation, about kids my age, about how lost we are, how empty, how we're all dying inside and don't even know it. They were talking about phones and drugs and how the enemy is using them to steal our souls bit by bit. One angel said something about how time was running out, that things were going to get worse before they got better. Another angel said that there needed to be messengers, people who could go back and warn others. The tall angel at the head of the table closed the book. He said something about how every soul matters, how even one person waking up could start a wave. Then they all looked at me. I froze. I didn't know they could see me. The tall angel smiled and pointed behind me. I turned around, and there he was, Jesus. I don't know how I knew it was him. I just knew. The second I saw him, something inside me recognized him. He wasn't like the pictures I'd seen in churches or whatever. He was tall. He was made of light, but I could still see his face. His eyes. His eyes looked like they could see everything. Every thought I'd ever had. Every lie I'd ever told. Every bad thing I'd ever done. I wanted to hide. I felt ashamed. Dirty. Unworthy. But he walked toward me, and when he got close, I felt this wave of love wash over me. It was so strong it made me cry. Not sad crying. Relief crying. Like I'd been carrying something heavy my whole life and someone finally took it from me. He said my name. Not out loud. I felt it. Like he spoke directly into my heart. Bex. Just hearing him say my name made me fall to my knees. I started sobbing. He knelt down in front of me and put his hand on my shoulder. And when he touched me, I felt something pulling out of me. It was like all the darkness inside me, all the emptiness, all the numbness, it started coming out like black smoke. And when it touched his light, it just disappeared. I could breathe again. Really breathe. I felt clean. No. He helped me stand up. He looked at me with so much kindness, so much love. I'd never felt anything like it in my entire life. He told me he wanted to show me something important. The room around us changed. Suddenly we were standing in what looked like an observation deck. There was a huge window, but instead of looking out at a view, it was showing me things. Like a screen, but real. I saw myself. I saw me in my apartment, scrolling through my phone. I watched myself for what felt like hours, just laying there, staring at the screen, vaping, scrolling. And every time I scrolled, every time I looked at a picture or a video, I saw this gray smoke come out of my phone and go into my chest. It wrapped around my heart and squeezed it. The more I scrolled, the more smoke there was, until my heart was completely covered. Jesus told me that the smoke was emptiness, distraction. He said that every time I chose the phone over real connection, over him, over life, a little piece of my soul died. He showed me the weed too. Every time I took a hit, more smoke wrapped around me. He explained that I was using it to numb the pain. But the pain I was trying to numb was actually my soul crying out for him. I was drowning out the one thing that was trying to save me. Then the view pulled back. I saw my apartment building. Then my neighborhood. Then the whole city. Then the whole country. And everywhere I looked, I saw the same thing. Millions of people, mostly young people my age, all alone in their rooms, staring at glowing screens. All covered in that same gray smoke. Jesus told me that my generation is the loneliest generation that's ever lived. We're surrounded by people online, but we have no real connection. We're starving for love, for purpose, for him, but we're filling ourselves with junk, with noise, with anything to avoid the silence. He said the enemy doesn't have to do much work anymore. We're destroying ourselves. One scroll at a time. One hit at a time. One post at a time. He told me that the phones, the drugs, the distractions, they're all tools. Tools to keep us away from the one thing that can save us. Silence. Prayer. Him. I started crying again. I thought about all my friends. All the kids I went to school with. All the people I saw online every day. We were all dying and didn't even know it. Jesus showed me more. He showed me what was coming. Things that would happen in the next few years. He showed me kids overdosing. More and more of them. From fentanyl and fake pills. From vape cartridges that were poisoned. From drugs that people thought were safe but weren't. He said that the enemy was using these things to steal an entire generation. He showed me mental hospitals overflowing with teenagers. Kids who couldn't handle reality anymore. Kids who'd lived online so long that the real world felt impossible. He showed me suicides. So many suicides. Kids who felt so empty, so hopeless, that they saw no other way out. But then he showed me something else. Something beautiful. He showed me a movement starting. Kids putting their phones down. Walking away from social media. Getting clean from drugs. Finding each other. Really finding each other. Talking face to face. Praying together. Finding him. He showed me churches filling up with young people. Not the old traditional churches. New gatherings. In homes. In parks. In coffee shops. Kids hungry for truth. Hungry for real connection. Hungry for God. He told me that out of this crisis, a revival would come. That my generation would wake up. But only if people started speaking the truth. Only if messengers went back and warned them. Then he looked at me. Really looked at me. He told me I had to go back. That my time wasn't done yet. That I had a purpose. I started panicking. I didn't want to leave. It was so peaceful there. So perfect. The thought of going back to the pain, to the noise, to the emptiness, it was too much. I begged him to let me stay. But he said no. He said I had to go back and tell people what I'd seen. I had to warn them. I had to be a voice crying out in the darkness. He told me that one person speaking truth can start a wave. that I didn't have to reach everyone. I just had to reach one, and that one would reach another, and on and on. I felt myself being pulled away from him. The light started to fade. The warmth started to leave. I screamed. I reached for him, but I was falling fast. Everything went black. Then pain, horrible pain. My chest felt like it was being crushed. I couldn't breathe. There was something in my throat. My eyes flew open. Bright lights, white ceiling, beeping machines. I heard voices, urgent voices. She's back. We have a pulse. Oh my God, she's breathing. Someone was leaning over me. A woman in scrubs. A nurse. Bex, can you hear me? You're at Providence Hospital. You're okay. You're back. I tried to talk but couldn't. There was a tube down my throat. I gagged. The nurse called for a doctor. More people rushed in. They pulled the tube out. I coughed and coughed. It hurt so bad. The doctor looked at me with wide eyes. He told me I'd been dead, that they'd worked on me for 24 minutes, that they'd almost given up, that they didn't know how I was alive. He said my lungs had filled with fluid, that the vape cartridges I'd been using were contaminated, that I'd had a severe reaction, that I should have brain damage, that it didn't make sense that I was okay. But I knew why I was okay. It wasn't luck. It wasn't chance. Jesus sent me back. My dad came in. His face was red from crying. He grabbed my hand and just sobbed. He kept saying he was sorry, that he should have paid more attention, that he almost lost me. I squeezed his hand. I wanted to tell him everything, but I was too weak. I stayed in the hospital for 5 days. They ran all kinds of tests. They said I was a medical miracle, that my recovery didn't make sense. When I finally got home, everything looked different. My apartment felt small and sad. I looked at my phone sitting on my nightstand and I felt sick. I picked it up and started deleting apps. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all of it, gone. I threw away all my vape pens, all my cartridges, all my edibles, everything. And then I just sat in the silence. It was scary at first. My brain started racing. The anxiety came back. But I didn't reach for my phone. I didn't reach for weed. I just sat there. And then I prayed. For the first time in years, I actually prayed. I didn't know what to say. I just whispered, "Are you there?" And I felt him. Not like I did when I was dead. But I felt something. A warmth. A presence. I started crying. Good tears. He was real. He was there. He'd been there the whole time, waiting for me to just be quiet long enough to notice. I started telling people what happened to me. My dad, my sister, my friends. Some people believed me. Others thought I was crazy or brain damaged or making it up. But I didn't care. I had to tell them. I started going to this church that met in someone's house. Just young people. We'd sit in a circle and talk about real stuff. About addiction. About loneliness. About God. I'd never felt more connected to people in my life. I got a journal and started writing everything down. Everything Jesus showed me. Everything I learned. I'm still here. Still breathing. Still alive. And I know it's for a reason. If you're listening to this, if you're my age, if you're lost, if you feel empty, if you can't put your phone down, if you're using something to numb the pain, please listen to me. That emptiness you feel isn't random. It's your soul. It's crying out for something real. For connection. For purpose. For God. The phones, the drugs, the scrolling, the posting, it's all just noise. It's all just distraction. It's keeping you from the one thing that can actually fill that hole inside you. Jesus is real. Heaven is real. And He's waiting for you. You don't have to almost die to find Him. You just have to be quiet. Turn off the phone. Step away from the noise. Just for 5 minutes. And ask Him if He's there. He is. I promise you He is. Don't wait until it's too late. Wake up. Please wake up. I know you have been blessed by my testimony. Please help me share this video to as many as you can. If you can do that for me, the Lord will surely bless you. Thank you for listening. If you have been blessed and encouraged by this message, Please don't forget to act. If you are going through same phase in your life now, just know that you are been loved by your Creator. Go back to Him and ask Him to forgive you. He is a merciful God. He will forgive you. Thank you once again for watching till this end. Until next time, remain blessed.